a Playlyst original.
Welcome to the Pilot Podcast,
where we review the pilot episodes of TV shows to answer your question, should I watch this?
My name is Mitu.
And my name is BJ.
And this week, we're watching the often listener-requested Modern Family, originally airing on ABC and now on Hulu.
So stay tuned to find out what Mitu's favorite mockumentary is.
Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh, that's hard. Okay. Until then, why don't you tell us what happened in this pilot episode?
Sure. Modern Family revolves around 3 different types of family: nuclear, blended, and same-sex, living in suburban Los Angeles, who are all interrelated through the wealthy businessman Jay Pritchett, played by Ed O'Neill, and his 2 adult children, Claire and Mitchell, played by Julie Bowen and Jesse Tyler Ferguson. So Mitu, you watched this more consistently than me, where I have just seen sporadic episodes.
Yes, I fell in love with Modern Family from this pilot episode, much of which I was surprised to remember 15 years later, and I watched it all the way through. So I think it was a 11, 12 season run. I watched the whole thing.
It was a lot. It kept going, and up front, I'm just going to say this pilot makes me understand why it kept going.
It is so tight. I forgot how much they were able to fit in this pilot episode. To your point, we meet Jay, we meet Claire, we meet Mitchell, but then we also meet their spouses. So we meet Phil, played by Ty Burrell. We meet Cameron, played by Eric Stonestreet. We meet Gloria, played by Sofia Vargas. And then we meet all their kids.
It is a huge cast with this expanded family. And yet, in this nice, tight half-hour show, I was not overwhelmed.
And it was funny. It wasn't just like, okay, everybody, let's get out a sheet of paper and some like a pen and get ready to think about how all these people are interconnected. There were jokes and there was humor used to tell us who each of these people are, what their couple dynamics are, their household dynamics, and we got to see a little bit of that inter-household dynamic as well. So, for example, Mitchell was nervous because Jay is not quite as accepting yet of his relationship. And so we're seeing Jay grow even a little bit in this first episode. We see Claire and Mitchell have kind of a funky thing with their dad. We see Phil has a crush on Gloria, which happens throughout the show as like a running joke. We already see some of that interplay between the families. My mind is blown by the writing in this first episode. I mean, the acting is fantastic, of course, but just the fact that they were able to introduce us to these people and multiple iterations of relationship.
That's a good point. It is on the writing as well as the acting to make it so digestible, because there were a lot of plot points. I think the biggest one was about Mitchell adopting a daughter and wanting to introduce her to his family. But we have another plot about Haley wanting to invite a boy over, Luke shooting people with a BB gun, Manny confessing to a girl that he has a crush on, and then all those little side moments that you mentioned that show us everyone's relationships and personalities.
That's true. For Modern Family Hive, I forgot that Dylan was introduced in this first episode, Haley's on-again, off-again boyfriend throughout the whole series. And then there were just all of these moments that made me laugh, like Manny's pursuit of love, or Phil explaining how cool he is by talking about how he texts. He's like, LOL, laugh out loud, OMG, oh my God, WTF, why the face?
I actually like that.
Cackled. First thing, why the face? I actually need that more than WTF. I don't think ever texted WTF, but I would want a shortening for why the face.
Now you can start using that, WTF.
I'll just start using it in professional settings. I'll just be like, WTF.
Oh, why the face? Duh.
And then the painting above Lily's crib, I totally forgot that was introduced in this first episode. I yelled at that. And then Cam and Mitchell's friends' names like Longinus and Pepper. And Andre. And then the way Cam presents Lily with that Lion King scene, I also forgot that was in the first episode. I just genuinely forgot that so many moments from this show that I love, that have just been memed over and over, are all in this pilot. That is 22 minutes.
It's tight. I also remember there was another sub-storyline of Jay feeling insecure about being called Gloria's father.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to look younger. And I thought it was really funny during the little interviews where Gloria reveals details about her past relationships to Jay's surprise.
And we later learn that Gloria's ex is played by Benjamin Bratt. So I understand everything she says in this pilot episode.
You would love and fight, and fall out a window together.
With Benjamin Bratt? Absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry to my other boyfriend, Colin Farrell.
So as you can see, this is a funny show, which I think is what it's famous for. And the mockumentary style lends itself well to that because I like the little breakaways where we essentially hear what all these characters are thinking.
Yes, I love the mockumentary style of comedy, obviously famously done by The Office, which premiered a few years prior to this show, and then Parks and Rec, which I believe premiered around the same time as Modern Family. The mockumentary style is fun if it's done well, where you have the humor in the scene, but then you have the cutaway of the person sharing additional thoughts. And I think with mockumentaries, it's similar to what you have said in the past about narration. Like it has to feel additive in some way. Either it's bringing more plot or more humor or more something, not just talking to talk. And I feel like they used this mockumentary style to the best extent of it adding rather than just being more for more sake.
I agree. And I think they use constraint really well. Like these interviews weren't popping up every other scene.
Yeah.
It's just these few moments that they put in to give us another laugh, to give us a little more context on people's relationships or feelings. And then they focus on the characters interacting with each other.
And there's heart in this episode, which I enjoyed. There is care. There is this love of this new baby that's being introduced into this family. And as someone who watched Modern Family all the way through, it's fascinating to see where they started and how some of these issues that they point out in this first episode, how that develops. Like how Jay grows to be not just someone who loves Mitch and Cam, but is an advocate for them. Or how Phil matures in their marriage so that he's less like a fourth child that Claire has to take care of. How Mitchell and Cam grow, where Cam gets to like do a little bit more and Mitchell gets to be less tightly wound. It's cool to see where these people that I remember from the finale of Modern Family, where they started.
And I think that works well with the theme being so centered on a family. Because like you said, you do feel the love. And I appreciate that they started with people who like each other.
Yeah.
I think it wouldn't work as well from the start if we saw conflicts between different family members. It's just siblings having some innocent fights. Yes, Jay has some questions or concerns about his son's relationship, but there's still that love between everyone. And I think that makes it more appealing to watch the family, as you said, grow up and develop. And especially with the kids, like you will see them literally grow up as the seasons go by.
That's true. It blew my mind seeing how tiny they were.
Kid actors don't stay kids forever.
That's true.
Or can they?
Watch this space.
New innovations coming soon.
With that, Beach, do you want to watch more episodes of Modern Family, originally on ABC and now on Hulu?
I do, and I think I would watch it how I watched it over the past however many years since it premiered. So more casually or more while doing laundry or something. I don't feel compelled to start from the beginning and go through episodically because that is a lot of episodes. And in the past, it's worked really well to drop in for a random episode, see what everyone's up to, see some hijinks, laugh a bit, and then jump to a new period. How do you feel?
Counterpoint. I will watch this thing from the beginning. We are coming up on winter. Some of us thrive in this environment where it's dark at like 5 p.m. We get to go to bed at 8:30. what do you do between 5 and 8:30? Why don't you put on a show like Modern Family that's easy to watch, quite comforting? If you're looking for a comfort sitcom, I think this is one to revisit. For me, last winter, I rewatched New Girl and maybe half of Schitt's Creek before a lot of TV came back. And I think this winter will be defined by watching Modern Family all the way through until TV comes back and the sun comes back. I think this is I think this has been reintroduced into my life in a really lovely time.
This will be your cozy winter show.
Yes.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Now, the real question is Modern Family your favorite mockumentary style show?
I don't know. I love The Office. I think The Office is still my favorite in this genre. I believe I love The Office more than Parks and Rec and Modern Family. I also really loved the show Trial and Error, but I think I love The Office more. Mockumentary style things, period. I believe my favorite in this genre is the film Jackie's Back.
Okay.
I strongly recommend it. It is so funny. It is a fake documentary of a singer basically trying to make a comeback. And it stars Miss Jennifer Lewis. And it is so funny, and for some reason is just jam-packed with stars who give these fake talking head interviews about this singer. And it is so funny. Strongly recommend it. Oddly, it is a movie I watch often around Christmas time because it just makes me laugh. It is jolly. So I recommend Jackie's Back, and also, of course, The Office.
There you go. Mitu's recommendation. And if you want to hear more of her recommendations and mine, head to our website at thepilotpodcast.com, and you can follow us on all of your favorite podcast platforms.
You can also follow us on social media at The Pilot Pod, and you can send thoughts, feelings, show recommendations, because every other week we do a show recommended by you, our wonderful listeners, to askthepilotpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.
Bye.